Heavy rain will lead to some flooding issues. A flood watch is out. We'll break down the details.
As more rain is expected to move in soon, people here in the mountains brace for its impact.
It worries me because maybe it's going to keep coming off and even stop the creek up, and I believe we'd be flooded.
The effects from previous rain already being felt. A massive mudslide shut down a busy road in Perry County. The story is similar in Harlan County, a persisting issue that needs fixed, leaving families on edge.
If we have an emergency, what are people going to do?
The county judge executive says the state is to blame, but the state says otherwise. We'll break it down.
A house fire in Martin County killed a woman this morning. Coming up, I'm Marianne Fletcher, and I'll have the details.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
The rain is taking a toll on the mountains. Mudslides have closed several roads across eastern Kentucky, and Mother Nature is not going to be too kind this week with an already saturated ground. Chief Meteorologist Andrew Dockery is tracking the threat.
Yeah, Steve, you said it best, because we get a break right now, but two systems could dump as much as 6 inches of rain across Kentucky. The good news is these two systems have been trending to the northwest, and the other good news is we're clear right now. Pinpoint Doppler giving us a little bit of a break. No activity at this time, but the cold temperatures impacting you for your Monday evening with the 30s in Jackson and in Moorhead. Of course, the flood watch out through your Thursday, all of eastern Kentucky included in that. The heavy rain, the weather threat there, a 4 out of 5. River flooding through Thursday will be at a 3, but the mudslides and rock slides, those will continue to be the big story over the next 3 days. Steve will have a full look at that forecast coming up in a few short minutes.
All right, thank you, Andrew. Schools were closed today in Perry County because of mudslides, and we just learned that Scott Alexander, the judge executive, has declared a state of emergency. Now take a look at this picture from Highway 699 near Leatherwood. You can see there a car barely being held up by a tree, likely preventing it from going into the river below. Now, we've tried to find the person driving that car, but we're unable to today. We're told they're okay, though. WYMT's Will Puckett did talk to others who live nearby.
It all came crashing down.
I had let my cat out, and I thought it had got maybe in its cage and the door closed.
Late in the evening.
It was between 11 and 12.
Sending the whole block a buzz, wondering what just happened.
My sister-in-law, Ruby Watts, she said it sounded like it was a big thunder.
No matter the commotion, one thing they all know, as the sun came up, it's a mudslide that stopped traffic in its tracks.
Right over there came a slip once, now this holler here.
Miss Sarah Cornett has lived along Kentucky 699 for nearly 7 decades.
Since 1950.
Her family plot along the stretch of road is nice and quiet. But today, it's flooded with the sounds of an excavator working among mud, trying to free up a road that is walloped with loads of mud. This sign shuts off the area to people trying to pass through, and as crews move swiftly to clear what's on the road now, those living by worry if the hill will give way again.
It worries me because maybe it's going to keep coming off and even stop the creek up, and I believe we'd be flooded.
With nothing to be done but watch, hope, and pray, the forecast does not bring as much rain as projected. In Perry County, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
Crews were working on another slide that happened Friday in Christopher, but had to leave that one to tend to this one first. They say it could take a day and a half to clear. Well, one thing we will keep a close eye on this week are the area rivers like the Big Sandy. This is video from Pikeville earlier today. It's expected to crest later this week at about 28 feet, which is well below flood stage. Our biggest focus, though, may be the Cumberland River, which is around 19 feet right now. It is projected to have minor flooding at a crest of 25 feet. Of course, crest forecasts will likely change depending on how much rain we get later this week. Officials in Whitley County are keeping a close eye on the forecast. Emergency Management Director Danny Moses says flooding closed a few back roads in Whitley County today. They say mudslides on Kentucky Highway 92 are also being worked on as rain has continued to affect those areas.
Bunches Creek is real bad. We were up there yesterday, probably 6 to 8 hours. Expecting more to come down today.
Emergency management will be patrolling throughout the area this week. Now to a lingering problem in Harlan County. For about a week and a half, a slide there has caused officials headaches. Here's some video of that slide from back on February 7th. The judge executive declared a state of emergency then because of it. Tonight, the slide remains very active. It is along Kentucky 72 near Highway 2425. Harlan County officials say how the slide is being managed has them frustrated. They say it was caused by the state doing an inadequate job while constructing a road. WYMT's Connor James has more.
The project wrapped up nearly a year and a half ago.
It was our opinion then, and still remains our opinion, that this road should not have been constructed.
The result of that is now this. A massive mudslide filling an entire lane of Kentucky 72, only held back by these barriers.
Now we have a significant problem that's impacting about 1,000 citizens, at least 300 households.
Judge Executive Dan Mosley says this constant barrage of mud and rocks would not have happened if this area was properly reclaimed, meaning it was stabilized and debris removed, but
that didn't occur.
And this is also the only way in and out of this portion of the county. That has people living nearby worried.
If we have an emergency, what are people going to do? You know, you have school buses that come up here, you have special needs buses, people go back and forth to work twice a day.
Thelma Haley says there needs to be another way out. If the rain comes, they could be trapped.
We've got to have an alternative route out of here, and then they can fix it.
In the meantime, she wonders when this will be fixed. She's not alone.
They've yet to give me a time frame on when this is going to be cleaned up, and they've yet to give me a long-term solution as to what they're trying to do.
And with that rain expected soon,
it is very dangerous. Until they can provide me a letter saying that that is safe and they don't feel like anybody should have to sit there 24/7, I'm going to continue to contend that someone does.
Mosley says he's just worried this will get worse.
So Connor, what are state transportation officials saying about all this?
Steve, we did reach out to them. They gave us this statement saying, in part, the Transportation Cabinet did provide construct an access road for the property owner to have access to his land above the roadway. The current slide originated near the area, but the road did not contribute to this current slide. We have that full statement on our website, Steve, WYMT.com.
Well, obviously a bit of a disagreement there between Judge Executive Mosley and state officials. Thank you very much, Connor. Just a reminder, you can always find the latest weather conditions as we expect this next round of rain moving in tomorrow on the WYMT weather app. If you haven't downloaded it, you should. See live radar and zoom right into your neighborhood. You can also learn about warnings and advisories in your area. You can find it at the Apple and Google Play stores. In other news this morning, a house fire in Martin County took the life of 70-year-old Kathy Aileen Runyon. Many family members say she had a loving heart and cared for many. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher talked with a neighbor who says this is a devastating loss for that Martin County community.
In a small community, everyone is like family.
I've lived straight across the road from Aileen Runyon my whole entire life.
Right now, the community of Huntleyville in Martin County is mourning.
And to lose her in such a way, this is devastating.
Grieving the loss of Kathy Aileen Runyon. Barbie Ann Maynard says she noticed smoke coming from Runyon's home.
So I called 911 and the neighbors went running to try to see if they could get a hold of her.
Hours later, Martin County Coroner Chris Todd found her inside the home.
Coming on the scene like this, it's tough dealing with people like this. It's hard on the family also.
Family members who came to the home said Runyon had a heart of gold. None of them wanted to talk on camera.
She was 70 years old and had been diagnosed with dementia. This is total devastation. She was a huge part of our community.
She loved talking to people and could share stories for hours.
I love to cook, so I would always make them to-go plates and take them up there, and we loved sitting around and talking with her.
and while she may be gone,
it's so sad and heartbreaking.
the beautiful woman with a giving soul will forever live in their hearts. In Martin County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
Kentucky State Police and the fire marshal are investigating. A Johnson County man faces a sexual abuse indictment. In October, investigators say this man, Michael Bundren, subjected a child under the age of 12 to sexual contact. The charge is a Class D felony. If convicted, he faces 1 to 5 years in prison. Tonight, we will be keeping a close eye on the Hazard City Commission meeting. We expect them to discuss Sunday alcohol sales. We have a live picture right now from outside of City Hall. Now, last month, they approved a first reading of Sunday alcohol sales. We anticipate them to have a second reading tonight. If that happens and it passes, alcohol sales on Sundays could begin soon. County Judge Executive Scott Alexander told us if it does pass, the county will also discuss the issue. A man is dead following a weekend shooting in Pike County. State police say they got a call about shots fired early Saturday morning in the Freeburn community. They say a fight happened at a home and 27-year-old Greg Fields was shot and Fields died. Police tell us they have not arrested anyone and plan to present the case to the grand jury. In Knox County, we've learned a deputy placed on suspension has submitted his resignation. The sheriff's office was notified of a criminal complaint against Deputy Claude Hudson last month. At the time, we were told Hudson was not charged with any crimes. Hudson has worked through many high-profile events during his career at the Sheriff's Department. He's been shot, nearly run over by a car, and almost hit by lightning. Now, we put in a call with state police for an update on the case and are waiting to hear back. The University of Kentucky is working to bridge the gap between pregnant women getting treatment for substance use disorder and continuing treatment after the baby is born. Pathways Beyond Birth program at the University of Kentucky is a treatment center for women after they have their babies. In the past, there was a gap in treatment for women after they gave birth, many times leading them back to drugs. This center is made to make sure new moms stay on track.
It was almost like this, okay, I can be a mom again. You know, I can have that title back. I have this other chance. It was kind of because I lost everything.
Tonight at 11, WKYT investigative reporter Miranda Combs sits down with a Beyond Birth success story. Find out what she says people must start talking about.
Mostly cloudy and chilly for tonight. Rain and snow late on your Tuesday. System number 1 brings 1 to 3 inches of rain. Both systems combined 3 to 6 inches. We'll have your forecast in 3 minutes.
And a woman is found dead in a shallow Knox County creek. What we know about that investigation and a timetable on when we might learn who that woman is.
When you see news happening, dial *57 or text your news tip to